Good morning, children. Saira. Welcome to Chapter 6 of Geography, that is, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. So, today we are going to start with part 1 of this chapter. Children, as usual, I want you all to keep your pen and notepad ready in case you want to write down any important points. Okay. So, let us begin now. So, children, this chapter begins with a girl called Salima who is very excited about the summer camp that she was attending. Children, she had already gone to Manali, which is in Himachal Pradesh, along with her classmates previously. So, she recalled how surprised she was to see the changes in the landform and the natural vegetation as the bus through which they were traveling climbed higher and higher. So what happened was, as they were traveling, when the bus was at the foothills, she saw deep jungles, which consisted of sal and teak. Then as she went higher and higher, she saw the tall trees with thin pointed leaves and cone shaped canopies on the mountain slopes. So maybe that time there was a geography teacher like me traveling along with them, who told that those were the coniferous trees. We have learnt about coniferous trees last year. I hope you all remember that. Children, in class 6 also we learnt about natural vegetation and wildlife, but it was confined to India. So this chapter is not only about India, it is about the entire world, right? Yes. So children, in this chapter we are going to learn about natural vegetation and wildlife, isn't it? So there are two words, one is natural vegetation and one is wildlife. So first, before proceeding further, let us understand more about it in detail. So children, let us understand first what is vegetation. What is natural vegetation? Natural vegetation refers to the garment of plants and trees that exist in the area before it is modified by man for activities such as farming, mining, lumbering, and industrial, economic, and urban development. We need natural vegetation because it helps us, that is, humans and animals. People use natural vegetation for food, building materials, etc. Animals such as herbivores use it for food. So children, plants which grow naturally and not due to human intervention are called natural vegetation. The plant cover on the earth's surface is constantly being modified by human activities. Thus, children, the term natural vegetation now applies to both natural and semi-natural types of vegetation. We all know that plants are important to us, to all forms of life basically. Why are they important? Important for survival. Plants are the only form of life which can convert their solar energy into food energy. Thus, plants are the primary producers on which animal and human beings survive, children. Okay? So, children, plants need air, water, sunlight, and nutrients from the soil to grow. The availability of these requirements vary from place to place, and hence we have large variety of plants. So children, basically natural vegetation can be broadly classified as forest, grasslands and shrubs. Okay. So under forest we have 6 main categories: tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, Mediterranean forest and coniferous forest. Okay. Under grasslands we have basically tropical grasslands and temperate grasslands. Okay children. And under shrubs we only have thorny shrubs. So children, now let us understand more about forest first. What are forests? So children, areas where rainfall is plentiful and temperature is ideal support the growth of trees. A forest, also referred to as wood, is an area with a high density of trees. There are many different kinds of forests in the world. Now, let us look at it in detail. Children, let us begin with the first kind of forest, that is tropical evergreen forest. What is tropical, children? The region around equator or in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn is tropical, right? We have already learnt about it in last year. What is evergreen? Evergreen means green throughout the year, always 365 days, right? And we just learned about forest, right? So what are forest? When we say forest, what comes to our mind? So when we say forest, we always think about trees or areas covered with lots and lots of trees, very good temperature and plenty of rainfall, isn't it? Yes. So children, tropical evergreen forest are also known as tropical rainforest. These forests are found in the narrow region around the equator known as tropics. The tropics lie between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer. In this region, children, the sun is strong and it shines same number of hours every day all year long, making the climate warm and consistent. Even the rainfall is ample, making the environment also humid. This climate is ideal for the growth of many kinds of plants. These forests are known as evergreen forests as they never shed their leaves. Children, as I said, these regions, they are hot and they receive heavy rainfall throughout the year. So as there is no particular dry season, the trees do not shed their leaves altogether. This is the reason they are called evergreen. Why they are called evergreen? Because the leaves do not shed, the trees do not shed the leaves. Okay. The thick canopies of the closely spaced trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside. Okay, even during the daytime. So the trees, the canopies are so closely spaced that they do not allow the sunlight to penetrate into the forest, penetrate inside the forest, okay, during the daytime. So what kinds of trees are available here? Hardwood trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany, all these kinds are very common here. Children, the tropical evergreen forest in Brazil is so enormous that it is like the lungs of the earth. Anaconda, I hope you have heard the name anaconda. Anaconda is a world's largest snake. Okay, so anaconda, one of the world's largest snakes, is found in tropical rainforest. Children, rainforest plants have special features that help them to survive in the special climate of a tropical rainforest. For example, the area around the equator receives heavy rainfall. Hence, the soil is very thin over here. Even the leaves of these trees have adapted themselves to cope with the exceptionally high rainfall. These leaves facilitate the drainage of water so that the rainwater does not stand. Now, children, we move on to our favorite session, that is quiz time. Let us see the first question now. The thick canopies of the closely spaced trees are the characteristics feature of, I repeat the question again, the thick canopies of the closely spaced trees are the characteristic feature of A. Tropical deciduous forest, B. Temperate evergreen forest, C. Tropical grasslands, and D. Tropical evergreen forest. What is the answer, children? Let us see the answer. Yes, it is tropical evergreen forest. Next question. Anaconda, one of the world's largest snakes, is found in the tropical rainforest, temperate evergreen forest, tropical grassland, tropical deciduous forest. What is the answer, children? Answer is tropical rainforest. Yes. As one goes high on high altitudes, one finds coniferous trees, shrubs, or grasslands. What is the answer, children? As one goes on high altitudes, one finds. Answer is yes, of course, it's A. Coniferous trees. So, children, with this, I end part 1 of this chapter. See you in the next part. Till then, goodbye and keep learning.